Just Air Force Weeks bring something different for defense. You guys work on this in the summertime and fall camp. Does it really feel like a refresher when you get back to this week a bit? Some of the drills that you do?
Oh, yes. So we work on it a little bit early during the season because, we don't face a lot of offenses like this. And you want to make sure you're fresh on the technique, different play styles. So when we get back to this week, it's like, okay, that memory is unlocked again. Like, okay, we know what we have to do.
When you think I think it's been 10 years since Air Force was not a top 10 rushing team in the country. What have you guys seen different maybe about them, or have you even seen really a lot of game film on their offense yet?
Well, it's really the same thing. This year they play with a couple quarterbacks. They're trying to find their identity at quarterback. They get in the gun a little bit. So it's the same thing, but they're trying to find their identity still. And as far as the run game, a lot of guys left. They have a lot of new guys in, so we're looking at that.
Jacob, for you guys as offensive line, it seems like it's become pretty consistent, the ability to run the ball. What are you most proud of your group and what you've been able to do so far?
Yeah, I mean, everybody's pretty open-minded to making new changes and, having wrinkles in our run game and, just in terms of being prepared and stuff like that, I think my guys have done a great job at covering guys up and, getting hats on hats and just letting our running backs work.
Since Coach Norvell came here, you still haven't won one of these rivalry games. Just how important is it?
Yeah, I definitely want to win this one. Air Force is always a really tough game, and it's a game we got to get up on them first. Can't be playing catch up with them. They like to hold the ball, and that means we need to make our possessions count. So I think just going into this game, I think that's something that we want to do is we want to hold the ball and be able to run the clock.
Jacob, stylistically, you guys are doing some stuff different this year than maybe in the past under Norvell, a lot more under center. How big of a challenge was that for you to adjust to?
Yeah, well, once me and Braden got the snap down, it was just it's felt pretty easy. I don't feel like the transition has been too difficult. Yeah, it's been nice.
How nice is it just kind of you mentioned wanting to be able to control the clock more against an Air Force team, something you guys haven't done the last couple of years, but this year with the way you guys have run the ball, how encouraged are you going into this game just knowing what you guys have done as of late in accomplishing what you want to?
Yeah, I'm super encouraged about it. Each week it's about preparation and being prepared for the fronts and the blitzes and the stuff that they throw at us. So after every Monday you got to flush last week, regardless if it's a win or a loss. So being able to come in this week and put in the same preparation, I think is what's required to consistently play well.
James, having both of you haven't been here for a while, I'm sure as players there are certain things that stick under your craw or get under your craw. Nobody on this roster owns an Air Force win. Is that one of those things that bothers you that you want to rectify before you leave?
No doubt. I mean, like you said, I don't think we beat them my freshman year, but I want to beat these guys, and we definitely got a good opportunity.
James, there are a lot of different offenses in the Mountain West. You guys obviously just faced a pretty pass-heavy team now. The difference with Air Force. What's it like as a defense? Kind of having those pretty dramatic changes week to week on the type of style you're facing.
Well, we really want to hone in on practice. The preparation is everything. We know that we face different offenses every week, but the detail that we put in during week in and week out is the difference maker in being able to adjust to different offenses.
What's the biggest challenge of going up against a team like Air Force and they throw so much misdirection at you, especially in the trenches?
Yeah.
What is hard about playing them?
What's hard about it is just because it's different. That's all it is. It's still football, being physical. Make sure you're reading your keys, but I would say the most difficult thing is just getting our eyes right and making sure that we know what we have to do and what we're supposed to look at in our responsibilities.
James, when you look at the way you guys won and played defense last week, you held an explosive offense to 17 offensive points, but you did it without any tackles for loss, no sacks. You had turnover, but it was in the last 3 minutes of the game. Does it tell you something about maybe how you've improved fundamentally to take care of those initial P's and Q's that you can win a game that way?
Oh yeah, that goes to show that we're a team. We have each other backs, first level, second level, third level. If one guy misses something, we have our back end to back us up. It's just camaraderie defense as well as offense, just camaraderie football back and forth.
That being said, you would like to start making some more of those splash plays, right?
Mhm.
So how do you get to that, taking that next step as a defense?
Just especially this week, this is a rivalry game. We play with a little bit more edge, like Coach Banks said, a little bit more physicality, a little bit more execution. So just knowing that it's a rivalry game, we're going to play with a bunch of that and just, make sure we have a lot more TFLs, get them back, down on first down. So.
Jacob, what have you liked about Aaron Karras just kind of stepping in this year, one of the younger guys? Obviously, Tanner's come in recently as well, but just specifically with Aaron, how impressed have you been, just kind of what he's been able to do for you guys?
No doubt. I remember him coming in his freshman year, and he's a bigger guy, and I thought maybe he could be something. And then I remember his second year, he got a lot better. And I think like his instincts were a lot better. He's able to learn. He's able to take the things from the film room and apply them onto the field. So he's getting tested this year, and I think it's great for him. I think he's doing a great job, and I'm proud of him.
Really, for both of you, what's it like having a kicker that has the type of leg that Jordan does and the confidence that I think that you guys have in him?
Yeah, well, we always want to score touchdowns, but having that guy back there, it takes a little bit of pressure off the backs, and I know this guy's going to make it, and I like having him back there, and I think the whole team trusts him.
What did it do for confidence, or what does it mean to open conference play with a win last week?
It meant a lot to the program and to us. I think it builds a lot of confidence. Expectations rise, standards rise, and it's all a challenge that we want and that we want to see and we want to be able to achieve. But like I said earlier, it's week to week. We want to win a championship. So I always say it like, what's the best way to eat an elephant? And it's one bite at a time. Taking each play by play and each week by week.
Is this the most balanced that the offense has been in these past couple of years?
I think so. Yeah, I was looking at the other day, and I think it was like 164 and 164. Runs the passes. Being able to run the ball and have defenses respect both sides of it makes it a lot easier on everybody else to do their job.
You've been around Avery for a couple of years now. I mean, what's it just kind of been like seeing him overcome adversity time and time again, and just even when it feels like he's maybe out of the picture, he kind of reemerges and comes back as one of the key pieces for you guys?
No doubt. He's all reliable. You know what I mean? He's I love blocking for Avery. He always runs hard, and he's always trying to learn. He's always trying to learn protections and understand who he's got, and he's just been a really solid, reliable back that the O-line trusts for sure. So having that piece makes it easier for us. We're not worrying about who's back there or anything like that. So, yeah.
More donuts for another 100-yard game.
Yeah, I think the deal is 150. 150, and
okay.
we'll get donuts. Yeah. So.
You guys did mention, obviously it is rivalry week. When does rivalry week technically kick in? Is it later in the week that the emotions kind of start to get stirred up a little bit more? When is it? Or is it like right away?
I think it's today.
Yeah, today. Right
today
away.
we had our the scouting meeting, and we were reminded that we don't have that many wins. We don't have any wins against the Air Force, and it needs to be burned into our heads all week. And in terms of intentionality and at practice and stuff like that, needs to be an extra motivator for sure.
And James, do you guys as a defensive line, especially in the interior,
Mm-hmm.
really mentally prepare for a different type of game and a blocking scheme that you're going to face this week?
I'm sorry.
Do you kind of mentally prepare because you know it's going to be a different type of blocking scheme that you face?
Oh yeah, it started today. We watched a little bit of film, watched their guards, and so it takes a lot of mental preparation as well, like you said.
Is this one of those games where you, especially being in the interior, have to watch? You have to have your head on a swivel, maybe more so than other games.
Well, you would think that, but it's the small keys. It's the small offensive line movements. It's not as a big grander scheme with all the. They do it in the back end, but we each have an assignment. So if you just looking at that one assignment, we'll be fine.
Thank you guys.
Thanks so much.
Sweet. Appreciate it.
Enjoy your day.